welcome to another Relax and Paint. And today I'm so excited because we are going to do something on gray paper, which is, I know that doesn't sound really exciting, but I want to show you how vivid the colors of the background can be when you're using a color like gray. And these are gray tone pads. They're kind of fun. What I really like about them, I know that looks reverse, is called a mixed media pad. And so the weight of it is what I want you to think about. It's a 184-pound weight, and that makes it thick enough that you can paint on it and not have any problem with it wrinkling up. And I'm using some colors that I think are really yummy to put on the gray. And so let's get started. All right. So what's happening is I am using floating medium. There you go. Instead of water. So I put a little bit in my cubby on my palette, or I can put a little teeny bit on the foam plate. Now remember this double loader fits right inside this palette also without the lid on it. All right. So what I'm going to be using is a larger brush. I have a 1-inch that you can use because I'm making big petals, or I have a 3/4. All right. So what's going to happen here is I'm using some fire coral. Now these are all multi-surface colors that I'm using, and they show you on the lid that they go on multiple surfaces. And so I am using some purples, the violet pansy, some wicker white, citrus green and citrus green and sap green. All right. Then I kind of pat this so it spreads out. All right. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a pencil and just kind of draw where I want these tulips to be. All right. So I'm going to have on this gray, it looks kind of cool. You can even get a 11 by 14 gray pad too. I don't know if this is going to show. Okay. Enough for you guys to see well. The other thing I can use, and I do have some right here. Let me try this. Let me do the chalk so you guys can see that better. So maybe you can see that better. There we go. So I have a petal that comes up here. And so the flower is going to be up there. Ignore the pencil, okay? All right, then I can come around here a little bit. All right, so this is going to be the rest of that orchid, but right here, I'm going to put the next one. Actually, this one's on top. And then I have another piece of an orchid back here. All right, so here's a stem for that one. All right, and then we're going to do one big pretty one here. And this is the one that I want to get fancy with. Okay, and what I love is how it looks on this gray. And I hope you think that's fun too. Actually, there's like a stem from back there, and this one's going to go right on top here, and it's going to come all the way over, going to go off the pad down here. All right, let's pull it a little bit more so you can see that. All right, and so what I'm going to do is I want to make sure that these petals are all kind of layering, and you can have another petal in the background. You see that? All right. Okay, so believe it or not, just these few colors. Now I'm going to use a larger one when I get down here, but let's come in here and let's pick up all one color, our coral, and grab a little bit of white. And you're going to rub this in. You see that? I can dip a little bit of medium. I want this to feel like butter when you're stroking, okay? And I can put just a teeny bit of citrus on that tip. And come back here I don't think that showed too well, so let's come right here. See that? My eyes are just looking at the outer part of this. Now I'm gonna come the tips. All right, so then I'm gonna come right here. All right, and come. Okay, so I cleaned out my brush. There's a little bit too much of the citrus green. I'm gonna pick up, work this in a little bit more. So I'm gonna come right in here. And I'm doing it a little bit slow so you can see, picking up a little bit more. Now watch this tip and then come back down a little bit more. I love the way all this color looks on here. Now I'm taking the corner and filling this in because it's bigger, but if I use the larger brush, I wouldn't have that problem. So I just want to show you that I'm going to come down here. This one's going to go underneath, so I'm going to stop here, do this one underneath, and then that one's going to lay on top, okay? So I'm going to put a little bit of a little glow right in here. This one's underneath. I just, I wasn't thinking again. So let me see. We're going to come right in here. See how I go over it a couple of times. So look how pretty that fire coral and the citrus and the white look here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this other stroke on here. And so the little bit of citrus works good in there. See how yummy that looks? A little bit more citrus with the white. And then you push down. See how I push down? Now I'm going to put some pretty purple in here, but see how nice that's looking? But I want to do this underneath one here. And this, I'm wrong, that one needed to go to there. Let me show you. This one's got a stem there, and then this one is coming here to this stem. So look, I'm changing the way the petals go a little bit. See that? Just kind of showing you how I create it as I'm going and how I change a little bit here and there. Okay, so, oh my goodness. See, I picked up way too much green and I'm wiping that off on my paper towel. And so then I'm picking up a little bit more. Now I'm going to pick up a little bit of purple. That's violet pansy. And I'm going to come right in here. Okay, so let's go right along here. Now what I should have done is painted this one, laid that one on top. So I will kind of go in there and add that petal back on top of there, okay? There we go. All right. This is all underneath this one and that one. But see, I don't like it to make it look like I went around it. It's better like if I was going up here just to go into it. All right. And then I'm going to come back. I keep coming here and picking up more paint. And it's getting a little dry, so I could go into that medium, work this in. And so then what's going to happen is we're going to come right across here. All right. And I can just put citrus right on that tip. And then push down hard. So I'm up on the chisel, then I push hard, put pressure hard down. Okay. And when I bring a little bit of this up in here. All right. So all this is going to go underneath. Now I'm going to wash the brush again and let's do this stroke again. So it would have been easier if I did this one first, just like this is going to go over this and this would go over that. And especially if you put it with chalk, if I'm freehanding, I might not know where it goes yet, but I'm not freehanding. I did use the chalk to draw it. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit more citrus. And so I'm going to come right here. All right, so now let's do this bottom one. And I just like the way it turns out on the gray. You can intensify the gray around there and float some color, or you can just leave it like this, which looks really good after we get this bottom here done. All right, so now I can come in here. Oh, I'm going to do that later. Let's go ahead and get in here. All right, so I'm going to pick up. Let's add a teeny bit of magenta. What about that? All right, so I can add a touch of magenta and a touch of neon purple. This is a multi-surface neon colors. I'm going to use pink or purple, okay? And so it gives you a really pretty color, and I'll show you that. I'm going to put a little bit of magenta in with a fire coral color. All right, that'll look really pretty. Okay, so we have a color back here. Let's get more white. Okay, and this one's back here. Okay. And I'm going to put this color. You always want to do the petals that are behind. Okay, guys. I'm going to come right here. Remember down here is scoops at the bottom. See? That's scooping and coming up that side. The scoops this way. And then we come up. All right. Oh, I put a teeny bit of purple and I work that in. As I'm holding this up, I can't really show you as much with the palette. So we're going to come under here. All right. So same thing happens over here. And right here. This is all underneath this top fancy petal that's going to go in. Okay, and you want this to move smooth like butter, remember? You can wipe off the chalk later if it doesn't come off. See, you could just wet it here. Okay. All right, so then what's going to happen is we're going to get a little bit more of the pink. That's magenta. All right, up and down. Okay. A little bit of purple. And that kind of, let me show you, see, a little bit of purple in there. All right, so these are back petals. Now this is what's going to happen right here. I'm going to pick up white. And I can put some pink and fire coral there. Now I want the white in front on this one. So it's going to come right here. Oh, guess what I did wrong? That's where I wanted the one. Sorry. So I've wet this, I laid it on a paper towel. Now I'm going to come in here. I need to be able to do that one big petal in front. I'm going to go back to the 3/4 next, but right now I'm going to put some medium and I need this white in the middle. So on the outside edge, I'm going to get the magenta and there we go. All right, so I want to touch this. So I'm going to come right here. So you can come down here, or you can keep going up like this. Okay, with the white. All right. Okay, so I'm going to come here. And then I'm going to flip this over because what I want to see, we actually can have a little bit coming here because that's going to be too big. There we go. Now we're going to do the other side of this petal. This is going to be kind of a different petal that I've done. So what I'm going to do is we're going to come right up from here with this 1 inch. This is a 1 inch, one of my dark green handles, go for 1 stroke, larger brush. So look, I can go just like that. See, that movement in here is good for what we want to have happen next. Okay. All right, so I can come right here also and fix this in the middle here. So look. Oops, it's like pasty. I'm gonna get medium and then there we go. Then it feels like butter again because I grabbed some medium and worked it in. So when I dip in the medium, I go back and work it in. So see this petal? This is a really pretty tulip petal. But what happens is at this point, I'm going to put some color in here. But I'm going to pull a stem in the middle. Okay. And that's, you'll see those when you're working with tulips. All right. So I'm going to come right in here. Not with that brush. I'm going to go to the smaller brush. And I'm going to pull in some neon purple in here. There we go. So let's put a little bit of neon purple. And it has that vein just like that. Okay, so let's get a little bit more of the purple. This is neon, so when it dries, it's awesome. And people figure out, well, how do you get that color? Because no matter what I do, like it's you can't figure out how to get that color out of using just straight acrylic. All right, so look, I can put this in here. And a little bit in here. Just a little bit. So let's do it over here. So I got a little bit of both. I come here and get picked up a little bit of violet pansy and then the neon. Gives you a little bit more depth like we used over here. Okay. A little bit of purple again, violet pansy. And we're going to come right in here. It's just like a fun exercise, a relax and paint. So you're not doing many petals, but it's how you load the petals that I wanted you to see and the color that you picked up. So please let me know if you like some lessons where we go in a little bit more detail like this, because I'm all about trying to figure out what you guys want to see most on my channel. Okay, so now let's stick it here, right in here. Let's pick up some violet pansy and let's bring right along here. Now I'm using a smaller brush, which is still a 3/4. All right, so I'm going to dip that in a teeny bit of medium to see if it'll pull. Yeah, see it's pulling a little bit. So I put the whole chisel in the medium and I'm pulling it down some. So if that gets too strong, I can watch that brush and I can let's see. Let's go to a 16 and I wet this and I can dip a little bit of white and a little bit of medium. Oops, medium with that white. Just this one, we want to do a little flip petal, a little bit of color in there. All right. So what's going to happen on this side is we're going to pick up with this 16, it can be a 12 or a 16. You're going to come along here and you're going to pull this. I'm doing this backwards because I lifted it. So look, I'm going to grab this and pull it over. There we go. So it's just rolled. I put the fire coral and the white. Okay. All right. So we put a little bit more white here in the middle. And then I can come in here with a teeny bit of citrus and some sap. All right. So I'm going to a little bit of green that goes in there. So then I'm just picking out the citrus and the sap with the same brush with some white. Okay, we're going to come right in here. And oop, I'm going to take that chalk out there. Okay, so what I can do, come in here a little bit. Going to get some floating medium and get these two colors and grab some white. Okay, so working that color in. So let's come right here. All right, so I can come up here. All right. Right, so this one comes up. You just take it like this and go just like this. There we go. That continues the rest of this. All right, so to make it finish, I think we need a little one over here. Okay, so there we go. So we're going to come right in here. So we want this to look like it went behind here. All right, now all I do, I'll take some water and take off this chalk. Now you can just leave it like that, which I think is kind of fun. But then the other thing we can do is let's get some gray. And this is medium gray. All right. And I'm just going to put a teeny bit of medium gray and floating medium. All right, so I'm going to go back to the 16. So I'm going to pick up the medium in here and just side stroke the gray, medium gray. All right, so what I will do is come along here. You can let this dry a little bit. I'm not letting it dry. And then if it dries, it won't pick up the color anymore. It'll just give you the gray. Right. Oops, see, it's picking up the green. I should have just taken my blow dryer and dried it a little bit. It's kind of nice because the green kind of works into the gray. There we go. Okay. A little bit of gray right there. And that's kind of fun. All right. And so you can, if you want to, I mean, that's good enough, but I can come in here a little bit and come right along here. And just let it dry. A little bit of shadow. And maybe a little bit down here. So I hope you guys like this. Please let me know. And if you haven't subscribed for the membership, check that out. You join the membership, you subscribe to my channel, and all that helps me be able to do more content for free when I have the support of you guys by subscribing. Okay, so you sign it, you're there. You can hang that all kinds of ways. But so isn't that kind of fun on the gray? Try it and share on our Facebook group. Love to see it. The Donna Dewberry's official one stroke group on Facebook. All right, see you later. Bye bye.